What's up, everybody? It is, what is today? 9/11. It is Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. Okay, so what I've got for you for this video is what's really going on around the world. So I've got some stuff pulled up here that I found that's going on around the world. There's some, I haven't found exactly, I didn't know what article to choose for the California wildfires, but I read an article, well, it wasn't the whole article, but I read something about they're having evacuations in California because of the wildfires. Evidently, the wildfires are getting pretty big. But I don't have a specific article pulled up. There's an article on the New York Times, if you're subscribed to the New York Times. It says, on the ground as California wildfires rage. And there's a video. Okay, and then next is the Vatican. Looked up some stuff on the Vatican, and let's see. A Vatican approves devotion to Our Lady of Mercy at Shrine of Pellavisian, France. I have no idea if I said that right or not. I haven't ever seen that word before in my life. Let's see. The Dietary for the Doctrine of the Faith gives its consent to the Nihil Obstat proposed by the Archbishop of Bourges concerning devotion to Our Lady of Mercy at the Maran Shrine in the small French town where in 1876 a poor young woman, Estelle Faget, reportedly experienced several apparitions of the Virgin Mary. Well, wasn't expecting that. I hadn't read that yet. Okay. Although it is not the current practice of the Dietary for the doctrine of the faith to express an opinion on the supernatural character or divine origin of a supernatural phenomenon and alleged messages, the expressions presented by Estelle as coming from the Virgin Mary have a particular value that allows us to have a glimpse at the action of the Holy Spirit in the midst of this spiritual experience. Cardinal Victor Manel Fernandez wrote this in a letter giving its consent to the Nihil Obstat concerning Our Lady of Mercy, venerated in the sanctuary of Pellavosian, a small town in central France, where in 1876 a poor young woman, Estelle Faget, reportedly experienced several apparitions of the Virgin Mary. The letter was sent to Archbishop Jerome Daniel Beau of Bourges, France, and was approved by Pope Francis on Thursday, August 22nd. A recommended devotion. In his letter, the Prefect of the Dietary for the Doctrine of the Faith affirmed that not only are there are no doctrinal, moral, or other objections to this spiritual event, and that the faithful are authorized to give to it their adherence in a prudent manner. But in this case, the devotion, which is already thriving, is also recommended, especially for those who freely wish to adhere to it. Devotion to Our Lady of Mercy is recommended, Cardinal Fernandez stated, since it offers a path of spiritual simplicity of trust and love that will likely do much good and will certainly be of benefits to the whole church. Estelle's letter to the Blessed Virgin. Estelle was born on September 12, 1843, into a very poor family. To support herself and her parents, she first worked as a laundress and then as a maid. Gravely ill and in danger of death, she decided to write a heartfelt letter to the Virgin Mary for her healing so that she could continue to support her poor parents. Her words, the cardinal wrote, are striking in their simplicity, clarity, and humility. Estelle, he went on to say, narrates the suffering caused by her illness. She does not boast of a Christian spirit of resignation. On the contrary, she explains her inner resistance to an illness that disrupted her life plan. In the end, the DDF prefect observed she always surrenders to God's will and only wants to help her father and mother with all the strength she had left. This generous dedication to others, this life that is used to take care of others, he commended, is what touched the mother's heart the most. The mother knows how to recognize all the good that is hidden behind our words. Miraculous healing. The young woman recounted that in February 1876, at the age of 32, the first apparitions began. By the fifth apparition, as the Blessed Mother had promised, she was completely healed. In these messages, the Cardinal observed that everything is attributed to Christ. Even Estelle's healing is not directly attributed to Mary, but to the Christ who heard his mother's intercession. That healing, Cardinal Fernandez reiterated, the Cardinal highlighted, was confirmed as miraculous by Archbishop of Bourges on September 8, 1893, with the consent of the Holy See. Messages from Mary. In her messages, the prefect said, Mary expresses to Estelle all her closeness and tenderness with words of encouragement. Do not be afraid, you are my daughter. If you want to serve me, be simple. Courage, I will be invisibly close to you. You have nothing to fear. I choose the small and the weak for my glory. And the Blessed Mother, the Cardinal recalled, exhorted to her to find peace. Calm yourself, my daughter. Be patient. You will have difficulties, but I am here. I would like you to be even calmer. You need to rest. Our Lady's invitation, he added, had also been extended to the church when she said, in the church there is not the calm that I desire. A silent presence. However, the Cardinal highlighted, even more than the few words of Mary, what is striking is her silent presence, those long silences where the mother's gaze heals the soul. Cardinal Fernandez recalled that Estelle had written in French, My God, how beautiful she was. She remained still for a long time without saying anything. After this silence, she looked at me. I don't know what I felt, how happy I was. She didn't say anything. Then she looked at me with a very kind look and left. She was still looking at me, smiling. What beauty and sweetness, what kindness in her gaze, and what mercy. The scapular with the image of the heart of Christ. The experience of Peloponnesian, the DDF prefect continued, is Marian, but at the same time it is strongly Christological. Thus, he argued, the Virgin's great request to Estelle is that she spread the scapular with the image of the heart of Christ, and the great message of Mary is the invitation to turn to that loving heart of the Lord. Showing Estelle the scapular of the Sacred Heart of Christ, he recalled that Mary says, "For a long time the treasures of my Son have been open." I love this devotion. Estelle accepted this request to spread the devotion to the Lord's Sacred Heart. The heart of Christian, the cardinal reflected, is never indifferent. It allows itself to be touched by our sincere and loving supplication, especially when it is the mother who touches his heart. Estelle's life was spent in humility amid many trials, accusations, and slanders. In 1925, she entered the Dominican Third Order. On 23rd August 1929, Estelle died in Pelavision at almost 86 years old. Papal authorizations. The cardinal recalled that various popes have authorized gestures of devotion concerning Our Lady of Mercy or All Merciful Mother. In 1892, Pope Leo XIII granted indulgences to the pilgrims to Pelavision, and in 1900 he recognized the scapular of the Sacred Heart in 1900. In 1915, Pope Benedict the 15th, receiving the scapular, stated that Pelavision was chosen by the Holy Virgin as a special place to spread her graces. In 1922, a votive mass to the Virgin was authorized for the parish of Pelavision on 9 September. Over all these years, Cardinal Fernandez marveled. Many beautiful fruits of faith and charity have been experienced around the shrine. Thank you for reading our article. You can keep up to date by subscribing to our daily newsletter. Okay, so that is all for that. The next one for the Vatican is Nigeria. St. Leo's Parish celebrates Mother Mary's birthday by feeding the hungry. The annual celebration of the Blessed Virgin Mary's birthday, which falls on 8 September, was this year celebrated at St. Leo's Parish in Lagos. Over 5,000 children and adults were fed, a remarkable feat given Nigeria's challenging times of biting economic hardship. This year, the Feast of the Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary fell on a Sunday.